TGCRequiem here. We are back with Blue Black Tezzeret. Um, this hand kind of looks bad at first glance, I think. It looks pretty top heavy. Um, but actually, we are on the draw. We're going to get a scry. So we're actually looking to where turn 3 Liliana is pretty likely. And if we get one ripped from the hand, we have a backup. We also will have turn 2 Collect Brutality. So I actually think we're okay here to keep this. Opponent has mulligan down to 6 so far. If they're going to keep 6, they left the card on top. Fire. I get Lantern? Oh yeah, so this is a dreadful matchup. I actually won it the first time I played this deck against Lantern. But not good. This is actually fine. This gives us something to discard. You know, our Lilianas are kind of okay. The problem we run into here is that actually I should have put that on the bottom to draw another land. Oh, that was a mistake. The problem we run into, we're really gonna have to win with Tezzeret. So that was definitely a mistake. Just kind of blanking out here. It's a little late in the evening. So Liliana is good against the deck. We don't have to have attackers to win. We can just win with Tezzeret. The problem that we have is that they run so many needle effects that they're going to be to shutting us down than we are to shutting them down. Excuse me. We can go up to 3 needle effects ourselves in the post-board game to shut down like their their Pixis or their Lantern of Insights. Most importantly, Codex Shredder. Yep, Collective Brutality definitely seemed like the best one there, especially if they are sitting there looking like they might have a. Although they missed their second land drop, looks like it. Yeah, gosh, this really makes me wish I. Okay, they did not. Really makes me wish we had cut this. Sort of the meat to the bottom. Fine. So they ended up just putting the Pixis, using the Pixis to actually put the Sword of the Meek on the bottom, or exile it rather. So that actually works out for us okay. Oh man. Liliana, a needle on Liliana is going to be so strong here. I mean, really, we just need to draw a land. Fortunately, Pixis puts those cards into exile upside down, so we don't know what our cards. I mean, in this case, we know that's a Sword of the Meek. We only have one more left in the deck. What we don't know what the remainder of these Pixis flips will be. Oh my gosh. I almost want to just concede right here. I mean, they could name Tezzeret. If they name Tezzeret, that locks us out of a win condition. But I can't imagine that they're not going to name. Unless they have, yeah. We don't have any main deck ways to blow that up. But Tezzeret's our win condition, so it could be worse if they don't run enough needle effects. Right. Gonna get into a barn burner here. Really could have used some more. So I think we actually name Academy Ruins here. Because they're going to otherwise be able to flip their artifacts over and over. Bubble. I mean, we're in such a bad shape. I'm not so worried about Codex Shredder at this point. They're just going to be able to redraw a bubble and draw a card each turn. You know, when they get their stronger cards, we're not going to be able to deal with it. So I don't know. Maybe we just name a cat or the Codex Shredder. We could also name Pixis. They don't have anything going right now. Turn it inside gives them, yeah. So they're gonna go for the Academy Ruins right now. I think the Academy Ruins probably is the best play here. And we're not necessarily worried about bridge. We can use War of Invention to try and get the Thopter Foundry combo, and then use the Thopter's Tezzeret to get enough threats on board to win. But again, we just got to draw lands first. So if we don't draw any lands, we're kind of get pinched here. Opponent looked at the top card of my library and flipped it, which means it probably was a land. There's a whole lot of reason not to cast Liliana here. Assume the opponent's going to flip that swamp away. Once we get a Tezzeret, we start to get into pretty good shape. Can get a blue source, we could get a blue source we could whir for of things. Ups chat. Oh well. We'll go for the welding jar here. Always get the relic back later. Start worrying for Thopter combo. Then our opponent kind of gets in a position where they have to either have to needle Thopter or Tezzeret if they only have one more, which is no guarantee. Where we could definitely don't want to draw that Liliana. Could start being kind of aggressive with our Tezzerets too. We could start to like down ticket and try and get just a little bit at a time. But I think we just want to wait and see what our opponent draws before we go whirring out here. The opponent probably wants to aggressively exile their own library. Oh, okay. And one Tezzeret can win the game for us, so I'm fine with that. Library over here. Actually, think about this. If we were for Thopter, this is 4. Yeah, it makes sense that they go for their own. Inquisition's good here. Targeting themselves. Oh, sorry. Pixis triggers both players. Okay. I'm actually going to go for Sword of the Meek first because we only have one and I don't want to get locked out of that. Are we in a position where we can kill our opponent with this opal? Have 5. We were, that gets us. We still have 2 more mana, 7, 8. Down tick, and that's lethal. Yeah, I think we just have our opponent dead here. I think we're just gonna get lucky. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 18 points. Whew! I don't think that's the norm, so I wouldn't expect that in the next game, but awesome to get one at least. Alright, so be on the draw again for the. And we were stuck on 2 land for a while there too. I really can't believe we got out of that. Alright, so I think Chalice is good here. Chalice on 1 is pretty strong if we can get it down. Granted, they have Abrupt Decays and whatnot. Sorcerer's Spyglass, Pithing Needle. We don't need Fatal Push. Collective Brutality is actually not very good in the matchup. We can cut that. Lost Legacy would be good, except you can't name artifacts with it. Don't need Damnation. Don't need Bantu. Want to bring in the other Tezzeret. And the other question is there anything else we want? Which Bane? You know, some of these decks try and which Bane Orb? Codex Shredder. Target player. So yeah, which Bane's probably decent. Welding Jar probably we want for the Abrupt Decays. Relic is decent. It's got some viability in the matchup. The matchup probably goes long, so maybe we don't need quite as many lands. Maybe we just cut a temple. It's also possible that we should cut a couple Lilianas, considering Collective Brutality could theoretically take some cards like Abrupt Decay, where if Liliana gets needled, that's pretty much game over for her in the matchup. So we'll see here. Alright, so got the first one. Actually, I don't know. We're on the draw, and I almost feel like being able to go Inventor's Fair, Opal, Bauble. We draw any lands, looking okay. But really, this is probably just not good. That, however, looks significantly stronger. Chalice on 1, pretty strong here if we can get it down. We bottom this here. We have enough land to start. Hope they don't do Thoughtseize on turn 1. I guess it's really more turn that we have to worry about it. Oh my god. And there it is. I didn't pull Ensnaring Bridges. What is wrong with me? I should have pulled 2. I could have left 1 in. Sometimes these decks will bring in Tezzeret themselves to try and attack another deck, but I don't think that's probably their game plan here. Collective Brutality would have been better than Ensnaring Bridge. A little frustrating. On the opponent, granted, we also do need some artifacts though, so. So Thoughtseize on top of their deck now, but we are going to get to cast the Chalice before they draw that. This True the Ensnaring Bridge at least does us an artifact, or their artifact count. Now this could end up making Ensnaring Bridge on their side a little worse. We may not want to jam ours, because if we can get Thopter Foundry down, we can start to threaten with 5/5 beats. They can use their Codex Shredder, filter their own draws, which is pretty strong. A Codex Shredder here, we might actually bauble to get the second Chalice. Now they have to crack their Lantern if they don't want me to draw them. Could hold that Chalice for later. Well, I guess in the upkeep they can still just Codex or Chalice. I didn't think about that. Not enough matchups here. Well, at this point, that makes it so we just want to probably run our own bridge, although we could. We actually could whir for a Pithing Needle here, for Sorceress. We actually have to go Pithing Needle. If we were for Pithing Needle, now that bridge is down. Chalice, however, does keep them potentially with cards in hand, which allows us to win with Thopter Foundry. So yeah, let's run out the bridge right now. And then we can plan to stack like our own bridge for a Thopter or a Thopter. Start trying to beat down with a guy. Little Thopter beater. Opponent is definitely trying to fix their own draws right now. Actually, a Tezzeret would be pretty strong. On lots of 1CPs. A little bit of mistake there. I'm getting a little sloppy, getting a little tired here. Shoot. So the mistake I made there was if I had played an upright land, I could have gotten Thopter Foundry and sacked the bridge to have 2 power on board for my next attack step. But by playing the tap land, I actually cannot. Witchbane Orb is relevant. Look how many cards they have in their hand at this point in the game. This is not what they want. Liliana, great draw here. Don't want to give them too many outs to discard though. And we need to keep our own hand size big enough to get through the bridge. So I think we just don't uptick the Liliana. It's kind of bizarre. Well, outside the norm. Plus, really, the way we're looking at, we want to have as many lands as we can to create as many Thopters as possible if we luck into... Did I not play a land? Man, I am just like slipping hardcore right now. Hardcore. Now they're going to be able to get the Academy Ruins next turn and start flipping these baubles turn after turn, which is pretty good. Gotta keep in mind that we need to keep enough cards in hand that we can attack with our own Thopters. And that doesn't really do anything. Trying to get as much power on board as we can here. Without Sword of the Meek, there's no reason to run out any extra lands. So one more Thopter turns... Okay, so Nature's Claim changes the math a little bit. No, they still can't cast it. Maelstrom Pulse, however. If they Maelstrom Pulse the Thopters, we can sacrifice. We just create more. If they go for the Thopter Foundries, we just sacrifice the Thopter Foundries is really what it comes down to. If they go after Chalice. If they attack the Chalice, they can start to unload a lot of cards really fast, potentially their whole hand. Presumably their hand is full of 1-drops. Then we need to start upticking Liliana. I have a 2-turn window if we can get them to a point where they can't unload their entire hand. Now we can start to uptick our Liliana. To some extent. That puts 6 power on board, which really makes me wish that we had our collective brutalities in the deck. And this really should be a matchup from my experience so far that we shouldn't be winning. Again, I've made some mistakes. We may actually have been in a position where we could have won this this turn. Now, when we look at this, our opponent has 4 cards in hand. They probably so we're not upticking here. We want to restrict their ability to cast them, and since Spire and Mana Confluence require them to pay life, we're in this spot where I think we just let them like have to figure it out. They draw the Aether Hub, that gives them a way to cast a spell. Presumably this goes to Liliana. We Inventor's Fair for anything relevant here. We could Inventor's Fair for Needle. Go get another Chalice. So I think that makes the most sense here. In case they want to stop us, we can go get another Chalice, potentially lock them out and give us another round of attacking. So that's what we're going to do. Just in case we can't get through for lead. And this might set us up. Now if they have a Thought Seize, well, they can't Thought Seize us. They could Inquisition us, but they can't Thought Seize us. Beautiful. Get one more in. Wow, what a game. Themselves to one. So we're basically going to give them the ensnaring bridge or nothing choice, although they are going to draw Sorcerer's Spyglass in time. Search is very strong. Relic's a redraw. I don't know that Needle's really the card we want to draw here. We could get it naming Codex Shredder. I just don't know that we're going to be able to outdraw our opponent. They already have an Academy Ruin. Suppose we could Pithing Needle. We get lucky and they tap mana. Liliana. I think we cost ourselves this game on a couple of those early screw-ups. We can take a whir. Oh, we can't target. Is it not allowing me to exile? Did they name? Oh, they didn't name Liliana? What? Maybe we should have gotten Witchbane Orb there ourselves. Yeah, definitely a mistake. We're just gonna go get our Pithing Needle. Name Codex Shredder. Uptick. Wow, I missed that. I totally missed this, and I think I may have passed a turn where I didn't uptake the Lily because I just assumed that's what they targeted. We're going to be able to put them in a situation where they have to choose to keep... Oh, no, 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 we can't. Shoot. We can't target player. Oh, yeah, I think we've actually lost here. I think I just need to scoop. I'm completely locked out. I apologize. It's late. Don't play against this deck a ton. We can't attack. We don't have any way to destroy. Yeah, we're just gonna concede here. My mistake. My mistake. Crap, crap. Craptacular. Alright, so we'll be on the play. My mistake. Sorry for wasting your time there. So again, I don't think we need the ensnaring bridges. And I believe we can bring in the collective brutalities to help us out in that sort of situation. Mistakes were made. Mistakes were made. Wow. That's embarrassing. Magic's hard, okay. Alright, so we're gonna be on the play. Actually, so search, I'm okay with this. Allows us to put some pressure on our opponent. We just gotta kind of hope they don't turn when thought sees us. Certainly a thing that can happen. Actually, we will put that on top. That sets us up for a turn 3 Liliana, which is what we're really inevitably trying to get to. I'm gonna codex that. Then we can go Liliana, search for Azcanta. Seems to have an aggressive milling start. Actually going to play into search for Azcanta pretty good here. Chalice on 1, however, is very strong, but we don't have to do it this turn. So we're gonna go for a whir for Liliana or Ensnaring Bridge. Yep. So they're gonna whir to shut down Liliana with Needle. No? Oh, they got a lantern, sorry. Cast that before we chalice. I wouldn't be surprised if our opponent starts shredding their own islands, or like their own lands away to try and get a better draw. And we're going to be able to start using search pretty quick. Again, kind of surprised our opponent didn't just lock the Lily out, unless they had some way to shut it down already. Yep, so there's their way to shut it down. That's good. That's two. Well, they can't cast Needle now. Oh, they win a Pixis of. Okay. So we're going to flip this search right away. Can't use Nature's Claim, so we're going to start to be able to pressure them really hard, really quick to have to sacrifice lands or shredders. So essentially they'll have all their lands or nothing else. Would have actually used that were. They're going to get the Liliana locked out here now with the Needle. We got to one in time. We'll get our search. I guess they can't because the Chalice. Ah, that's so good. That's the Pixis. Got that just in time to catch Liliana. Don't have a bridge yet though. Fortunately, Tezzeret doesn't really do a whole lot of good either. I think we're gonna just end up losing here. I think we have any way to blow up that Witchbane Orb, which ends up becoming the problem. We can use Tez to create 5/5s, but they don't have a bridge. So the next thing would be to play Tezzeret. Let's think about this. We just got to start beating with 5/5. So either Tezzeret person. So we could actually lethal our opponent next turn if they don't get an answer right now in terms of a snaring bridge. Draw that, cast that into Chalice. Yep, that's game. Just realized it too, I think. I guess we're not going to necessarily draw the Tez though. We're going to go to time. No. I was just going to start trying to push us. Time. Kind of cruel, but such is life. Ugh. An attack step. That's an attack step. I think we just went to time. Server. Oh man. Too slow, too slow. Anyway, looks like we may have gotten to the point where we would have won that one. So that was kind of cool. Unfortunate, but was still fun. I hope you enjoyed. Probably like there's probably no commentary at the end there. I think I made a mistake by cracking the relic. I think if I'd have just down ticked instead of cracking the relic and I just made it a 5/5 and attacked, I might have had enough time to get one more attack in with one more down tick on the Tezzeret. I tried to get a little too cute there. Super frustrating. But hopefully you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time. Reddit 7-6.